What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. My name is DFree here today. In this, we're going to go ahead and break down the full power Frieza. I'm also going to give you guys a guide and some team building tips and all that stuff. I'm going to show you guys a couple of example teams for the upcoming Extreme Z-AWAKEN event. Now, I do hope you guys enjoy. I do think that this event comes out within the next week or so, so I wanted to get this out just to let you guys know and let you guys start preparing a little bit ahead of time. Hopefully, I'm early enough. But the full power Frieza event is coming to global nonetheless. So again, as you see, we do have Frieza pulled up. We're going to transition from here, like I said, into breaking down the event itself and then some team building recommendations for this event as well. So this guy is really, really good. First thing I want to say is he is really, really good. He's very underrated, very underappreciated among the, I don't want to say underrated, I don't think that's the right word, but very underwhelming for a lot of people because of the way that he didn't really change a lot. But I want to give this guy a little bit of defense, right? Because of the fact that he came out during this meta, 3 key and 3,000 boost. That is literally, we're talking year one of Dokkan. And then, you know, we transition into him already having immense damage and then 120% boost when performing a super attack, which is still really, really, really powerful for today's standards as well. The 120% is still very powerful, right? So this unit, long story short, was way ahead of his time, so that does reflect in the change. So one thing that they did for a lot of these units, just like him, the Broly, the Gohan, all those units, is that if they didn't have defense initially, which, long story short, I don't think any of them really did, what they did was they gave them access to defense via their Extreme Z-AWAKEN, pretty much. The stats do go up. The level cap does go from 120 to 140. The super attack level does increase from being maxed out at 10 to being maxed out at 15 as well. So all those things do add to more damage as well. And if we transition down here, we can see this unit's 100% stats. He's literally looking at like LR stats, pretty much. Like he's in the realm of LR stats. Just, you know, 500 HP short of being at 20,000 HP. That's insane, right? 17,600 attack and then 12,000 defense. Those are insane numbers. So he's just, like I said, just shy of rainbow numbers, probably closer to free-to-play LRs. Just shy of LR numbers, not rainbow numbers. But anyways, passive does change from being immense to being immense alongside 30% defense raise for 3 turns. So they added defense there. Leader skill changed from being 3 key to 70% and 3 key as well. So 3 key and 3,000 to 70% boost. Passive though, totality of rage, it sustains the 120% attack, but gives him 3 key and 30% defense as the first attacker in the turn. Nothing else really changes. He's in the Planet Dynamic Saga, Full Power, and Enhanced Transformation categories. So, as far as this unit is concerned, he's another one of those units that you need to make sure that, you know, you're not depending too much on the passive boost for defense. But if you have to, if you are, he's going to be in a position where if he gets hit before he gets a chance to attack, he's not going to get any defense. He's going to be at 0% defense because he needs to attack to trigger that boost. But he does pick up the self-sufficiency, so he's only 3 keys short of a super. What part of me wants to say that? Something to me wants to say that he supers early. I mean, that's kind of like the deal because all he needs to do is get to 9 key, but still, at the very least, this guy is able to quote-unquote super early because he supers at 9 key if he's the first attacker in your turn. So that's how this unit breaks down. Very, very damaging unit. Very good, of course. Let's transition over to the event. So the event itself, is one that you want to play through the first 30 stages. It's not one of those specialty ones like Jiren or anything like that where you can keep playing and keep getting like orbs or other various rewards, right? This one, when you get to stage 30, all the while you're getting orbs and medals and Kais and all that stuff. When you get to stage 30, you are done unless you want to keep playing for Hercule statues. If you need Zenny, sure. Otherwise, you're done at stage 30. No reason to keep playing beyond that. All in all, you would have got all these rewards here. 15 of the bronze, 40 of the silver, 30 of the gold, and then 30 of the rainbow medals for this unit. Almost enough orbs to 100% a unit. I think this is just a little bit shy. I could be mistaken. But nonetheless, it's a lot of orbs to acquire for the physical types. And then 11 of the Kais and then 30 stones as well. So altogether, that's what you would have got, right? Now, this event is actually one of the easier ones in my opinion, just because it actually is very, very easily doable, right? It's accessible because of the fact that it is weak to the Planet Dynamic Saga category. So this category's only leader right now is this Gohan. This Gohan had an Extreme Z-AWAKEN event, I believe, during the 3-year anniversary, somewhere in that area. So if you have this unit, you are eating for real on this event. You're going to just plow through this really easy. Full disclosure, though, and I'll talk about this a little bit more when I get to my team building tips, but, you know, non-teams like this, you don't have to run these types of teams to beat these events. I mean, Potara typically does pretty well. It might struggle a little bit here due to the type disadvantage for the leaders, but all in all, you get my my point. Other categories can do well and can beat the event, yada yada. I was gonna say that because people are always like, oh, I'm just gonna use this team. I'm like, okay, that's fine, but I want to show you guys the way that it would be done by the game's intended means, right? It's like, oh yeah, use this category, so the game's intending for you to do that, so you don't have to deal with all the other BS that comes alongside it. Because if you don't use that, you have to fight through all this damage reduction. I mean, he's literally reducing damage by 63% by the time he gets there. But your regular units do not fall subject to that. So characters in the Planet Dynamic Saga category take less damage. They don't get hit as hard. Mitigate Frieza's damage reduction and cause increased damage. So not only do they nullify Frieza's boost here that he's getting to his own defense, his reduction, they also do increase damage. So they literally run over this event. So again, the Planet Dynamic Saga actually has, the cool thing about being a global player is, for one, you can prepare in advance, but Global got access to several things during the 250 million celebration, pretty much, that got boosted into this category, right? So they got this new Piccolo. JP did not have access to this guy at the time, right? So he doesn't have type advantage, unfortunately, but he'll still do very, very well in this event. They also got access to this Frieza and this Goku, and they're both insanely powerful units. So, like, those are little things like, and these units are still here. They're just always going to be here, huh? Just because the units they awaken from are in this category. That was actually my first SR, by the way. I got that from my tutorial summon. That's really funny that I pulled that one up specifically. Anyways, yeah, so like this category got a lot better. So let me go ahead and show you guys a couple of team builds. So here I have the Planet Dynamic Saga category not featuring the LRs. So of course Global doesn't have Ginyu right now. In full disclosure, with this, you can also just run the full Ginyu Force team. They are all in this category. Just run the Ginyu Force category. But the issue with the Ginyu Force category is you don't have access to as much offense as you otherwise would have because the STR types just do a little bit more damage. The Gohan, the Goku, etc., they do a little bit more damage, but you can get a bit of a more consistent team, I would say, with the Ginyu Force, right? So that's another team I'm not going to show off, but again, they're all in this category. You can do it. But Global does not have access to this Ginyu Force yet, so they're not a part of my team. LR Frieza could be on this team as well. Does not link very well, but again, this is just an example. If you were to run this unit, though, I would say you probably want to drop this character here, just for the fact that the other units do link pretty well. You also have Jace as a support. Jace is also very, very good on this event because he'll tell you where the super attacks are. This Goku does share shocking speed, which is the bare minimum that he would need. The issue with this setup, though, is that Gohan himself gets left by the wayside, where Gohan could potentially be your most damaging unit on this event. So my team build tips for this would be to, if you can, run options like this. At the very least, you want to start off with the free-to-play units, right? So those two need to be here for sure. They are too good not to be here. Next, ideally you have this Goku, but if not, I mean, this guy's an option. You know, he does fill some of the same role, just not as good, but he is an option. So keep that in mind. Reason why it's not as good as well is because he doesn't have the Shattering the Limit link, which sometimes might come in handy, right? So keep that in mind. But ideally, you have this option here. So that's our third spot. And then, like I said, the natural team build that I had, you want to use as much STR as possible. So from here, I'm going to funnel into using these two units, right? Because this guy right here is very, very powerful. Too powerful not to have. Also has type advantage. Also can get the support from Jace. And then we have the links that this unit has with the rest of the board as well. And again, Jace does help out the villain character. And then we also have Piccolo, who can kind of fill in as a key battery with shocking speed and some of the other things that the rest of this board would need. So all of a sudden, we have a very, very good semi-free-to-play team that can clear this very easily. The only ones being the ones that are not at the bottom, right? But if you don't have these, they can easily be replaced by other very viable options, such as Ginyu Force characters or that other Goku that I showed off just a second ago. So that's how you would fill this team out for the most part if you were looking to use the Planet Dynamic Saga team. So all in all, this setup, you know, it's a little bit orb hungry, so I don't think you really need it, but Piccolo's healing will come in clutch, the transformations will come in clutch and all of that, but they are a little bit orb hungry because your two main units, these two, do want a lot of orbs for the most part. Different kinds of orbs, I think, for the most part, but still. Actually, they both want rainbow orbs. But Gohan gets an additional boost per rainbow, but gets a natural boost per orb anyway. While Piccolo here gets a natural at the start of the turn boost, but then gets more via rainbow. So they both want rainbow, but you get my point. So another option is Super STR. Now, Super STR for Global is a little bit different. This is just an example team. This team should be able to clear this, by the way, because you're still taking use of the same basic principles of using characters that are in this category, and then at the very least, characters that help you clear other portions of this team that you would want, right? You have key batteries, you have support units to help your main two units hit harder, because, full disclosure, these two units, the Goku and the Gohan, in most scenarios are going to hit harder than your SS4 Gokus and all that stuff, just because they're getting boosted damage, and the other units are not. So they're going to hit the best on this team. So they're your main attackers, despite the fact that you have this Goku. But this team does have the most HP, things of that nature. So really, as long as you have these options, then of course this unit can be replaced by the free-to-play option. Not as good, but still works. You know, really the rest of this stuff is compulsory. It doesn't matter a whole lot. Typically what I would recommend is make sure that you do have access to tanks. Otherwise, like that Vegeta, he's a pseudo tank, very good defensive unit, but he doesn't have mitigation, which holds him back a little bit. Same for the Trunks. The Trunks right here is an option as well if you don't have the Vegeta or another defensive unit. Really what you would want to do is probably fill in units that have like over and a flash or things like that. So this character can do pretty well as a tank as well in that tank role. Also functions as a bit of a key battery. Unfortunately loses prepare for battle upon awakening, but that's fine. Does function, like I said, as a key battery there. So other than that, though, we do have SS3 Vegeta who can work there, other units as well. Even this EZA Goku can come in and be very good here. The issue with this guy is that he's your last case scenario Goku just because he has the same name as the other two that I've been showing off. And as I just said a moment ago, he's not going to do as much damage. Another thing you can do to kind of make up a little bit of that tank hole is you can fill in a unit like Gohan. He's not going to help a lot of the units like the main Goku super attack too often, but the defensive increase and the links that he does share, such as shocking speed or things of that nature with some of the other units, will help out as well. So that is pretty much it. My tips that you would want to be aware of. But all in all, I don't think this is going to be too hard, just because, like I said, Super STR is a very common color, right? Another thing you can do is you can just run Planet Namek Saga team. I wonder if it's actually possible before I say what I was going to say. Let me just knock off all these characters. Yeah, it looks like it is. You can run Planet Namek Saga and then STR as a friend boost. Yeah, you can do it. I mean, I wouldn't really too much recommend it, but you can do it. You can run an STR team with any of these units here, like this Frieza for whatever reason. And then just take a Goku friend or something like that. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new for more content. Any questions down below, let me know. And I'll catch all of you in the next one.